Hi everyone, we're going to have a look at advancing that serve on now. So in our last video, we started off at our 90-90 position. Now as you'll have seen on TV, watching a few Wimbledon episodes, you notice that most players don't start from here, and that's what we're going to try to change today. So what we're actually going to look to do is bring the racket and the ball together from our starting position. Okay, so a little recap just on where our feet are going to be to begin with. I'm a right-handed tennis player, and it means that my front foot, which is my opposite leg, so my left foot, points towards the right side net post. If I was a left-handed player, my feet position would be in the opposite, so my right foot towards the baseline, pointing towards the post on the left side of the court. So that's just where I want my feet to be to start myself off, and now we have a little recap on that grip. So it's our chopper grip or our continental grip that we want to use for this serve motion. So to find that, we pinch the strings of our racket with our finger and our thumb. As we slide that hand down until we meet at the bottom of the handle, it will allow us to find that chopper grip position, as if we're chopping up and down with our racket. So that's us now got our correct feet position and our correct grip. Let's have a look at how we're going to progress this swing on. So from here, what we want to look at is as we bring the ball and the racket together, we're going to separate, first of all, having a look at the racket as it separates back. The racket will then come back behind my back leg, and at that point, we want that racket to then travel upwards to finish back into our 90-90 position. At this point, that is where the racket strings then face towards that back fence. So having another little look at that, the racket and the ball separate. As the racket comes back just behind my back leg, it then travels up and into that 90-90 position. So that is the first stage that we wanted to have a little look at. From there, the secondary part that we want to focus on is we want that ball to be going up at the same time. So my non-dominant arm, which is my ball tossing arm, as I release the racket, this arm should start to release upwards. As I get to around shoulder height, that's when I want to release that ball up. Now, if I release it up from that shoulder height position a little bit too late, it would come back behind me. If I released it too early, it would go out in front of me. If I release around that shoulder height position, we should find that ball. Fuck. So having a look at this ball toss position, we want to release this ball around shoulder height. As I release it from shoulder height, we should find that ball, if we imagine it to go straight up a drain pipe, it's also coming straight back down that drain pipe, so it's arriving back into my hand here. That will allow the ball to be out in front of me and allow me to reach up and make a nice contact when I begin that swing. So now all together, we want the racket and the ball to be moving at the same time. So as we make that separation, the racket goes back just behind my leg and the ball is starting to rise. So all together, we come up into position, that 90-90 zone. The ball is now travelled up from that shoulder position, and we're starting to get towards our full service action. Once we get to that point, as the ball reaches its peak and just starts to fall, that is the point that I then want to reach up with that racket, making that contact with the strings out in front. The racket head then turns outwards again with the thumb pointing down towards the ground and the back of the hand towards me. As we get through into that position, I then pull that racket down and in towards the pocket on the opposite side of my body. So let's have a little look at this all together now. Good.